El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, says of course he will not return Maher Garcia to the U.S. after a Supreme Court ruling required the Trump administration to facilitate his return to the country.
Well, I'm supposed to have suggested that I smuggle a terrorist into the United States, right?
Abrego Garcia was mistakenly deported from Maryland last month. The Trump administration says federal courts have no jurisdiction since the migrant is a citizen of El Salvador. Justice Department officials also argue Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13 and was living in the U.S. illegally. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling for a global response to the latest missile strike by the Kremlin. At least 34 are dead after an attack on a city near the Russian border. President Trump reacting to Zelensky's latest request for weapons.
Oh, I don't know. He's always looking to purchase missiles, you know. He's against... Listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles.
The war began with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Kremlin has so far rejected U.S. terms for a ceasefire agreement. A suspect hospitalized after breaking into the Pennsylvania governor's mansion and setting it on fire. Investigators say Corey Balmer used a Molotov cocktail and was armed with a hammer. Governor Josh Shapiro, others had to evacuate the mansion early Sunday morning.
No fire suppression system. There was a fire alarm system, but not an active fire suppression system, meaning fire sprinklers that would have put the fire out before it spread.
Harrisburg Police Chief, Fire Chief Brian Enterline there. The governor and his family were not injured. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A day of action. A mostly cloudy afternoon, but we escaped with no rain, and a high at 71. Overcast now on Monument Circle, and it's 70. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. The State House is the people's house, and here are the people. Those are teachers and supporters wearing red and filling 3 floors of State House Rotunda, many of them there to oppose the property tax bill.
And why is this day important to you?
This day is important because they're trying to pass it's not House Bill, it's Senate Bill 1, where they're trying to take taxpayer money away from public education. Public education is the only tool some of our students have.
Always wear a life jacket, say conservation officers, and they believe had these 2 men been wearing theirs, 60-year-old Daniel Watson might not have died. He and 49-year-old Nicholas George were fishing Sunday afternoon on Goose Lake near Columbia City. Watson fell overboard, and that's when the whole boat turned over. George called for help, but by the time he got some, it was too late for Watson. A 17-year-old girl was hit by a truck Sunday in South Bend, and then the truck hit a building, pinning the girl. She is now in intensive care. Police say that happened about 1:15 p.m. along Mishawaka Avenue in front of Canny's Water Solutions. No one has been arrested, and police are looking at what happened. You probably heard of Make America Healthy Again. Tuesday, Governor Mike Braun will bring that vision to Indiana. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Braun will be hosting U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz to introduce his Make Indiana Healthy Again plan. Kennedy Jr. has talked about addressing the health crisis in America by focusing on getting rid of chronic disease by promoting healthy eating. The announcement will take place Tuesday at the Indiana State Library. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family-owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch-resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas, too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
What's up, Chris Davis? Looking at southbound 465 on the east side. Crash before Penn Pike. It blocks the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic to East 56th Street. Eastbound 70 stop-and-go West Street to the south split, and southbound 65 slows from West Street to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mainly cloudy skies today, maybe a few peaks of sunshine. It is going to be a bit breezy. Winds may gust 20 to 25 miles per hour with highs near 70. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Oh, man, Hammer, it's Angry Red-Shirted Teacher Day at the Indiana State House. As a result, many of your kids had an e-learning day today. Even worse, some kids will have an extra day at the end of the school year because the teachers decided to take off and come down to the State House and protest SB1 property tax reform bill, which, as a matter of fact, some people like on our side, the conservatives, Republicans, they don't like this bill either. So it was kind of a reason for everybody to come together and say, yeah, this property tax reform bill sucks, even though it's for different reasons.
So what you're saying is that today, folks on the right and the angry red-shirted teachers can do that awesome like high five that's, Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers do. That's what we're talking about. In Predator, they're doing the awesome high five.
Yeah, again, for different reasons. The red-shirted teachers thinks, it takes money away from the schools. They're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars if SB1 passes. And the other group thinks that it doesn't go far enough. It doesn't do what it said it was going to do, which was go back to the 2021 rates. Totally separate causes, totally separate reasons on different sides, but the only thing they do agree on is that it's kind of a sucky bill.
We told that to the lieutenant governor when he came in here on Friday.
I wonder if Mike has ever heard the word turd as many times in one sitting as he did during his segment with us on Friday. I'm willing to guess no.
Probably not, but 24 hours later, not even 24 hours later, Nige, we had heard that the lieutenant governor had done a 180 on that turd of a bill, and now he is saying he does not support this bill in any way, and he is going to ask Governor Braun to veto it. Now, Governor Braun could look at the lieutenant governor and say, oh, that's great. Let a big beefy fart walk out the door and sign the bill. Because he's the governor, he's the man.
He could even fan the fart with said bill.
Right.
Right, here's the bill.
It's on his way out.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, Micah, whatever you say.
But if you're wondering why so many schools were on e-learning today and you might get stuck with another day at the end of the year, it's because the angry red-shirted teachers have come downtown complaining about SB1, the property tax bill. They're the people that feel like, well, if anybody gets a tax cut, then all the schools are going to close and the fire departments will close and the poor Carmel Police Department, according to Sue Finkham, they might not have enough officers to respond.
She took that back, but she got it out there.
Well, she took it back after everybody said it was bull crap. And
that's my point.
I mean, like, she would not have taken it back had people not heard it. You know what I'm saying? These people, man. But you're right, though. It's weird. Politics makes strange bedfellows.
Yeah.
Whoever would have thought that the angry red-shirted teacher, like the one that got arrested, well, not arrested, but cuffed and dragged out of the property tax rally.
Yes, I remember her. That image of her with the belly.
Yeah, her belly was sticking out of her shirt.
Not that I could talk about bellies.
Well, sure, but we also didn't disrupt an event at the State House either.
This
was the lunatic from, I think, Wayne Township. She was interviewed by Ryan Hedrick from our newsroom. It's on one of the social media pages for WIBC today. And
you interviewed her today?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to go check that out.
I retweeted Jerry Lopez earlier at Hammer and Nigel, our pal Spanglish, who was like, wait a minute, I remember that face. And that's that lunatic, that Wayne Township lunatic who was like on the ground with her hands like cuffed behind her, kind of a Buddha belly sticking out from the shirt.
Those are the ones in charge of your kids.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
And just wait till Rob Kendall goes on the air tomorrow. He's got some stories for you.
Because he was there today.
He went over there in his red shirt, and I think some people thought he was a teacher, even though he had the I Hate Rob Kendall t-shirt on that was red. They were confiding into him some stuff that you're just going to have to listen tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, Governor Braun has announced a press conference, and no, it's not to announce that he will not be supporting this turd of a property tax bill.
There's other stuff going on in the state.
It's to roll out a Make Indiana Healthy Again plan. So RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz, I guess, are going to be here tomorrow with Governor Braun to roll out his initiative to help make Indiana a healthier state.
Well, they just walk out there in the middle of the podium and, all right, here's my plan. Just cut down on the bread, cut down on the soda, maybe limit it to 3 beers a night. You'll be all good. Thanks. Got to go. What if that's the plan?
He's got a quarter pounder in his hand. He's munching it as he walks off the stage.
Just look, everything in moderation, all right? I'm just going to eat half of this Big Mac. Okay? Throw the other half right away.
RFK Jr. would have a single tear coming down his eyes, like those old trash commercials. The Indian at the end, that would be RFK Jr. That event is tomorrow at 11 a.m.
But I mean, look, what if that's the plan? Look, no, cut down on the sodas, eat Cheerios instead of Lucky Charms. Maybe go with not so much sugar in the coffee.
Only 3 corn dogs at the state fair, max. 3 corn dogs, max.
That's it. That's it.
If you're going to have deep-fried Oreos, split them with a friend. Can you imagine RFK Jr. going up and saying that?
I would love it.
I would too.
And that, in reality, kind of a smidgen of truth in that ridiculous diatribe I just went on about. There's a little sliver of truth in all that. Right, truth.
Right. I really felt like this should have been an announcement at the Indiana State Fair.
right in front of the Oreo place.
Right.
The deep fried Oreos.
The deep fried Oreos, the deep fried cigarettes, the deep fried Pepsi. It's all right there. RFK Jr., your thoughts. Nige, if you need a reason to drink tonight, happy 57th birthday to friend of the show, Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, I got to talk to him late last year. I think you were gone. You missed it.
I missed it. I hate that.
Of course, Anthony Michael Hall, the star of one of our favorite 80s comedies ever, Weird Science. I asked Anthony Michael Hall about that famous scene in Weird Science when he's in the shower with the AI-created Lisa. What about Kelly LeBrock? I mean, I was just the shower scene. I mean, oh my God, wow! Yeah. And you were actually in. I thought, I went back and watched it because I thought, oh, this is all camera tricks. They weren't really in the shower with Kelly, but yeah, no. At the very end of the scene, she gets out, and that's where they pan down to you're wearing your jeans.
Yeah, let me confirm this because it was a line in the film. She was wearing pasties on the nipples, so she wasn't fully nude. But if you can recall those Seabreeze commercials when we were kids, the beautiful brunette would walk down the street and like a wind would hit all the guys in her wake. That's how it was being around Kelly. She was a beautiful woman, but inside and out, man, she was a cool person. She had a great sense of humor. She could laugh and be one of the boys, and she was always great like that. So she was a lot of fun to work with, and she always put everybody at ease because everybody was usually oogling at her.
Yeah, so Kelly LeBrock, a.k.a. Lisa from Weird Science.
Lisa?
The shower scene, a seminal moment in my youth.
Oh, yes.
For sure.
You can't even take a shower with a beautiful woman. All right, so now I understand that producer Allison is a little younger than Nige and I here. There's a little generation gap. So here's what we're going to do, Allison. I've got 4 clips from very well-known Anthony Michael Hall movies. It's your job to see if you can identify the movie, okay?
Okay.
Number 1.
Dad, this is not the car you ordered. take it easy, Rusty. Ed, this is not the car I ordered. I distinctly ordered the Antarctic Blue Super Sports Wagon with the CB and the optional Rally Fun Pack.
You didn't order the Metallic P?
Family vacation?
We'll take that, yes.
Vacation.
Yes,
yeah.
Vacation. Yes, the first one, the trip to Wally World.
Okay.
When they
okay,
got the family truckster. Yes. Okay, 1 for 1. We're going to count that.
Okay.
Number 2.
Well, what I had said was I'm in the math club, the Latin club, and the physics club.
What do you guys do in your club?
In physics, well, we talk about physics, properties of physics.
So it's sort of social, demented and sad, but social.
Breakfast Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
The nerd in the Breakfast Club. Okay. Number 3.
I say you guys get along with your parents? I guess you guys moved out by now, though, huh? What's this, sir?
Drink it.
Drag it.
I don't think I know.
It's a bar scene. One of my favorite bar scenes of all time.
Drag it.
Weird Science.
See, I've never seen Weird Science.
What?
Wow.
I know. The truth comes out. The truth comes out.
No.
I have never seen Weird Science.
Okay, number 4.
Okay.
Before I knew you as a person, I can get proof without actually getting physical.
How?
Can I borrow your underpants for 10 minutes?
16 candles.
There you go. There you go. I'm not going to lie. I've lost a little respect for Allison because you've never seen Weird Science.
3 out of 4? That's not bad.
It's not bad, but that's your assignment this week. At some point, by Friday, I need a Weird Science viewing out of you.
But is that Anthony Michael Hall's signature movie? On his gravestone, do they put Weird Science on there? Or is it Breakfast Club?
I feel like those other movies, he wasn't the main player, right?
He was a player, but not the main player.
Right. 16 Candles was a Molly Ringwald movie. Breakfast Club was the Brat Pack as a whole. But Weird Science, I think he was the star.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, give it to him. Either that or Johnny B. Good.
That's right. Matt Baer, what's up?
What's happening, fellas? Southbound 465 East Side crash at Penn Pike. Right lane is closed. Traffic stop and go back to Fall Creek. And then eastbound 70 slow to the south split after Harding. Inbound 65, not delayed yet. Little slow around west right now, but we're mostly moving up to speed. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Anthony Michael Hall, by the way, is still getting work.
Oh, yeah.
Still getting work. He just wrapped up. He had this character named Beck in the 3rd season of Reacher, which I love that show. Played a good bad guy in that one.
71 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And coming up at 4 o'clock, 4:06 to be precise, we will announce our Tales from the Track event this year.
Wow, you're kidding.
Our annual Indy 500 event, the Tales from the Track. We're announcing it at 4:06. But coming up next, our pal Eddie White will join us. Guy Relford's on the way, too. Don't go anywhere. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Join our B&W Premier Club for additional benefits and exclusive discounts.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, B+W.com, your American Standard air dealer.
Guys, if you're over 40, you need to pay attention, especially if you're running low on energy or just kind of feeling off. LowTCenter.com is where you need to go. Get started with some testosterone replacement therapy. They call it TRT. You join tons of guys who are already going through the same thing as you.
This month only, you can get a free consultation. Free. And if you qualify, the treatment's covered by most health insurance. It's an affordable way to check your testosterone and kickstart your life, kickstart your health. Don't wait. The Low T Center really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. And yes, you could even ask about weight loss medication, prescription weight loss medication. You can do that at a Low T Center. All you got to do is make that appointment. LowTCenter.com. LowTCenter.com. Simple, quick, and totally worth it. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
That's are us when dreams sunk in. That's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to that'sareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us when dreams sunk in. That's are us.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. April is here, so that means it's our Dare to Compare sale. Compare our prices to any of the big stores in Indianapolis, your town, it doesn't matter. We guarantee you the lowest price on every sofa, sectional, recliner, mattress, outdoor furniture, anything, plus no extra fees, no delivery charge. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
City water or well water, get better water with C&J. Best prices of the year at C&J. Great systems, great people too. Just call them 317-733-SOFT.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Damon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yes, you are. I'm Nigel. Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Playoffs! It's playoff time for your Indiana Pacers.
Come on.
Eddie White, host of the world's greatest post-game show, joins us. How are you, my friend?
I cannot wait. It's ridiculous. You know, we play these games like sometimes you have back-to-backs, you know, and then you got like a day off, and then you got another game. Holy smokes. Now we got like the one game we're all dying to play, the first postseason game, and it's in our city, in our freaking building, and I got to wait till Saturday. I'm losing my mind.
But you know what? The fact that you have to wait till Saturday is a good thing, Eddie. Pacers are not in that play-in tournament thing. They got home court advantage, my friend.
You know, that's why you are a genius, because I didn't even think of that. And then I guess, yeah, we could be playing tomorrow or Wednesday. Then again, our next game might not be till next year. So you know what? Saturday, hey, 1 o'clock, let's go. But the bottom line is, the best thing is, we got that. It was their goal at the beginning of the year. Get the home court. We got it, and it starts Saturday. I can't wait.
And it's against those evil, no good, rotten Milwaukee Bucks, Eddie. And last time there was a Bucks playoff game here in Indianapolis, we got under their skin so bad. You had Bucks players throwing balls into the stands, getting mouthy. There's a little bad blood here, right?
Well, remember last year there was a controversy about balls, and we needed a ball, or they took the balls. And anytime you get balls involved, it can get dicey.
Sure can.
And, Yeah, there was a lot of hostility last year. Oh, yeah, I went to the doctor for that. Anyway, it gets so dicey. And then, we got this thing brewing with the Pistons. It's like, holy smokes. But you're right. There's not a lot of love between Milwaukee and Indiana. And it's going to be – now, what worries me, and again, we wanted the home court, but, I mean, the fact is we played them 4 times this year during the regular season, and they won 3. And, again, that we won was that miracle 4-point play by Halliburton at the end. But when you look from January 1 to now, we have been one of the best home court teams in the NBA. I mean, almost unbeatable. I mean, LeBron beat us on that stupid tip-in, and then we lost last week, but we were playing the not the starters. So I think it's imperative that the Pacers, 1, have the home court, but 2, get that game 1 on Saturday at 1 o'clock and send a message to the the Milwaukee people fear the deer. When the hell's the last time you feared Bambi? I never heard Bambi. Bambi is not stupid. Bambi doesn't. Now Freddy Krueger, scary. Bambi, not so scary. So, no. Let's take them out and get these guys out of the way.
So, Eddie, I guess the million-dollar question here is, are tickets available to the public now? Are they on sale yet? And what's the vibe going to be like in there at 1 o'clock on Saturday?
I think it's going to be crazy. I mean, I think Pacers.com/tickets is to answer your question. But those like you guys are like me. We're old enough. We remember those afternoon playoff games at Market Square Arena when people came downtown. Yeah. It was warm. The sun was out. You gathered beforehand. You found a watering hole. You had a beer, whatever. Then you came into the game, and it made you feel good, And now we got that. Now for the new generation or the next generation or for the older generations, it's Saturday afternoon. You come down, find your watering hole, have a pop, and then come in and take care of business. So, remember, it wasn't too long ago that we weren't going to the playoffs as you started the whole conversation with playoffs. Well, we are in the playoffs, and we just got to get it done on Saturday morning. It's going to be awesome.
Eddie White joining us with the Pacers. Also working with the Fever, you were kind enough to bring some swag by the big show last week, celebrating at the time 100 days until the WNBA All-Star Game is in Indy, or we've dubbed it the Caitlin Clark Invitational.
Yes, exactly. The funny thing is, first of all, the Fever camp, the draft is tonight for the WNBA. Thankfully, we don't have the first overall pick. We don't need it anymore. We have our top picks. We're good. Leave us alone. We're good. We're good.
Pretty good.
And so their training camp will start next week. And then, boom, the Fever season will be here before you know it. And we're coming out a year ago where we hosted the best NBA All-Star Weekend. Now we get to host the best WNBA All-Star Weekend. In that off season, we picked up Stephanie White, great Hoosier that she is, to be the head coach. Then we picked up Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard. These are all-stars themselves. We could have 5 Fever players representing the East in the All-Star game this year. So we're looking forward to this Pacers postseason run. May it go through June. And then the Fever season, which goes into the All-Star game. I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, I don't know if there's been a better time to be a fan of professional men's and women's basketball in the state of Indiana than right here, right now. It's unbelievable. The people are calling from Greenland. They want tickets. They're calling from Canada. But, actually, excuse me, we get in line for your tickets, Canadians. It's going to be unbelievable. Of course, hosting the world's greatest postgame show, I actually take calls from Greenland. Love the people in Greenland. They're green, they're green. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be the same.
It sounds like if Trump and a robot had a kid. That's what that was. If Donald Trump and a robot somehow had an offspring, that's what that was.
You're nasty hammer, bad nails. He's a nasty hammer. That hammer is quite nasty.
Get the tickets now, baby. Playoff action this Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Fieldhouse. The Pacers, the Bucks. That's a lot of bad blood. And Eddie White, my friend, we'll talk soon.
Anytime. Love you guys. God bless.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Maybe warmer weather finally warming up. Can we say the same about the markets? Do we feel secure in our investments? If the answer is an emphatic yes, call the Trajan Wealth Fiduciary Advisors. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth is ready with a second opinion, ready to customize a portfolio to your hopes and dreams. Call and schedule your first consultation. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth knows how to navigate an economic climate like this one, a volatile one, and will collaborate with you to ensure your investments are secure as possible. They want to join your team. Preparing for the future means having a good plan and making smart investments. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth and schedule a consultation 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
If you're wondering what's up with the red shirts, cloudy for the afternoon and overnight, but no rain expected. No rain on radar either. It's 70 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. You may have seen the people in red shirts near the State House. If not, you may be wondering what all the hubbub is about. It's basically teachers opposing the property tax bill, articulating their belief that passage of the bill would result in money leaving public education is Indianapolis City County Councilor Jesse Brown.
We're saying no cuts to teachers, no cuts to public education at all. We had a $421 million budget surplus last year, $2.6 billion in the reserves. We can fund other things. We can fund charter schools. We can fund transportation. We can fund homeowner relief, but it shouldn't come from our children.
The Democrat and self-proclaimed socialist on WIBC's Kendall and Casey this morning. This was an attempt to burn a governor out of house and home. A Harrisburg, Pennsylvania man is in custody after being accused of setting a fire to the Democratic governor Josh Shapiro's home there in Pennsylvania while he and his family slept. Fox's Alexis McAdams is at the governor's mansion in Harrisburg.
You are in the middle of a residential area here in Harrisburg when you are in front of the governor's mansion. So I was looking around and seeing exactly what he did to get in. All he had to do was climb that big fence. He scales the fence, goes up, breaks the windows, police say, with a hammer, throws in 2 Molotov cocktails that he made using beer bottles and some gas, and the whole thing sets on fire. Investigators say this could have been much worse and say the fire spread so quickly it could have been deadly. Cody Ballmer is facing a long list of criminal charges after investigators say he filled up some Heineken beer bottles with gas, using those to start a huge fire.
It's an obesity pill. Pfizer says it's ending clinical testing for that once-daily pill that would have treated obesity. Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Pfizer's testing for danuglipron was in phase 3, which is usually the last part of development before a company submits the treatment to government regulators for approval. The company says it will stop studying the weight loss drug after one of the participants in its trial experienced a possible drug-induced liver injury that was resolved once they stopped taking it. Pfizer had been testing the once-daily pill after scrapping development of a twice-daily version in late 2023 because most patients dropped out due to side effects including frequent nausea and vomiting. The pill had been seen as an alternative to the popular weight loss drugs given weekly by injection, including Novo Nordisk's Wegovy and Eli Lilly's Zepbound. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, looking at southbound 65. That is now stop-and-go traffic around West Street to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Harding Street. Crash on the east side, southbound 465 before Penn Pike. The right lane is closed and traffic is stop-and-go to East 56th Street, then slow to 75th. And looking at eastbound 465 on the south side, a little bit slow from Harding Street 231 and again to 65. Crash Kentucky Avenue at Ameriplex. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, polycast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy with less clouds tonight as lows drop into the mid-40s. Much cooler and more windy for your Tuesday with some more cloud cover. Wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour possible. Highs will only get into the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name's Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, also joining us live in studio with the Gun Guy, Guy Relford, host of the Gun Guy program Saturday nights here on 93 WIBC. He is a 2A attorney. He is a licensed firearms instructor. Guy, how the hell are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located in the farmhouse right next door. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
And I saw your face all over social media, all over the news over the past couple of the days, a signing ceremony at the State House involving one of your bills, or a bill that you had a hand in.
Yeah.
The governor signed it. Tell us what I was looking at. Tell me all about everything.
You bet.
Come on.
And this is House Bill 1137, and we had a ceremonial signing ceremony, which was nice of the governor to do, especially with all the rightful attention being on property taxes. I mean, that's where everybody's focused. That's where they should be focused, and that's the biggest issue facing the legislature as well as the governor. So for him to take time out and have a signing ceremony, I thought was pretty cool. But what this bill is it will require the expungement or the sealing of the court records and the public records associated with a red flag case, where guns can be seized from individuals even though they've not been committed or convicted of any crime, if they're found not dangerous as defined under the red flag statute. Now, under this bill and now law, the court will be required to seal those records so it's not a public record. And this really arose out of several cases I handled, red flag cases, where I'd win the case. I'd establish that my client was not dangerous. We get their firearms returned. But because a red flag proceeding is a civil case, it's not a criminal case. Because it's a civil case, there's no way to expunge that. Like, if I get convicted of a crime, even a felony, not all felonies, but a lot, I wait 8 years with a clean criminal history, I can get that expunged off my record for being convicted of a crime. But because red flag proceedings are civil, there was no expungement proceeding for that. So they just sit there. And so people would be found not dangerous, and they still lose jobs after somebody runs a background check.
Because you could just Google somebody or look it up on my case say, oh, look what he was involved in.
Exactly. I had a lady who lost her ability to drive a school bus because they did a background check. And, oh, look, you know, your guns were seized. You were accused of being dangerous. We can't have you driving a school bus. Another gentleman, young kid, his lifelong dream was to be a Marine. He wanted to go in the military. And they did a background check and say, oh, well, it says here there was a proceeding where you were alleged to be suicidal. And he said, well, I proved I wasn't suicidal. We won the case.
I'm here today.
Yeah, right. and we in fact proved that it was just a miscommunication. After he'd broken up with a girl, he said something like, you know, how am I going to live my life without you? Meaning, you know, I'm going to miss you a lot. And that gets misconstrued. And, oh, my God, he's suicidal. Next thing you know, he's getting pulled over at gunpoint and his guns are being seized. And that can happen under our red flag statute.
This bill was bipartisan, right? I mean,
it was overwhelmingly bipartisan in the sense that, get this, at the committee level in the House and at the committee level in the Senate, it passed out of each of those committees unanimously out of committee. Then on the House floor, it passed 91-0, and in the Senate, it passed 49-0. So there was never a single vote by anybody against this thing. And at the signing ceremony, the governor said that was, obviously incredibly rare. And he asked some of the legislators that were there who've been involved in this process for a long time, and they'd never seen, any bill go through completely unscathed, at least not for a long, long time. So that was cool. And so I wrote the bill originally because it arose out of experiences of my clients. It was something we needed to have fixed, and we got it fixed. It goes into effect July 1, but it's even retroactive in the sense, like if I went in and won a red flag case tomorrow, and then because the statute's not in effect yet, it wouldn't be automatic that record gets expunged. But after July 1st, I could go back and ask the judge to amend the order finding the client not dangerous and have them seal it at that point.
Okay.
So we can go back.
So if this has screwed you in the past, if you've been the victim of a wrongful situation here,
exactly,
after July 1st, you can get that off your record.
Yeah, I wrote that into the bill, and it passed, and that's pretty cool. It's mandatory if you're found to be not dangerous at that first hearing. Even if you were found to be dangerous in the past, the statute allows you to go in after at least 180 days, ask for another hearing to prove you're no longer dangerous. And if you win that, then it's actually discretionary. The judge may actually seal those records too, even though you were found to be dangerous in the past. So it's a good law, and that's why I got unanimous support. So I'm excited about it. It's going to help a lot of people.
Monday, Gunday with the gun guy, Guy Relford with us. You were telling me earlier that national reciprocity has a real shot this year. No pun intended there, but it's got a big chance.
It does, and I think I said in the House anyway, because that 60 vote threshold in the Senate could be tough. But we got national reciprocity, which simply says that if you have a license to carry in your home state, or if you live in a constitutional carry state, then that means that every other state has to recognize your ability to carry within their borders. So,
because that's not the way that it is right now.
No, there are. Well,
Indiana has what we call constitutional carry,
right,
but you go into another state, it might not be the case.
Including our neighbor Illinois does not recognize the Indiana license. So I carrying my gun in Terre Haute, I'm totally legal. I meander across the border into Illinois, and there are some exceptions for being in your vehicle if you have a license from Indiana. But generally, let's say I'm walking down the road, 10 feet on the other side of the Illinois state line, and now I'm committing a felony. And I go to prison in Illinois, even though I have a constitutional right to bear arms. And that's why the bill's actually called the Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, because it actually covers people that live in constitutional carry states. So this would mean Illinois would have to honor my license. New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Connecticut, California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, some of these really anti-two-way states.
Let me jump in real quick.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe it's a dumb guy question, but let's say you are driving from Indianapolis to California. You're doing the Wally World. You're taking the family truckster all the way across country. Do the lawmakers and police in the state of Illinois expect you to, once you get across the state line, to pull over, stop, put your weapon away somewhere? Like, what do they expect you to do?
Well, again, Illinois just a few years ago passed an exception that now, if you have an Indiana license, they'll allow you to possess a gun in your vehicle in Illinois. But that's not the case, for instance, in New York, New Jersey, California, several other states. So, yeah, and there is some national protections called the Firearm Owners Protection Act 1986 that says if I'm legal to carry where I started, my origin, and I'm legal to carry at my destination, I can go through other states as long as the gun's unloaded in a separate compartment from the passenger compartment, or if I don't have a separate, like a trunk, then it has to be in a locked container, unloaded. And that protects me if I'm legal where I started and legal where I'm going. But if I'm just doing Wally World, like you said, just touring different states, that may not protect me because I can't point to a particular destination that I'm going to where I'm legal to carry. So, yeah.
So if you get popped for speeding, like let's just say that you are driving from Indianapolis to St. Louis, okay,
Yes.
for a Cubs and Cardinals game, and you're going through the state of Illinois, right? You're going across, you get pulled over for speeding just shortly after the state line. You've got your constitutionally carried in Indiana piece on you, but you've been pulled over in Illinois now. Like, are you in super trouble?
In my vehicle now in Illinois, and I guess this is unique to Illinois, I'm okay in the vehicle.
Okay.
But let's say if I went to Illinois and stopped to get gas, and I walked in the gas station to get, a Snickers and a Diet Coke, then all of a sudden now I'm committing a felony because I'm outside my vehicle carrying my firearm. And that's so ridiculous because I could be, like I say, a mile across the state line. I'm doing it in Indiana. I'm totally legal. I'm exercising my constitutional rights. Now I'm a felon in Illinois. That's crazy.
Come back for one more segment?
You betcha.
It's the gun guy. That's Guy Relford. It's Monday Gunday. He's coming right back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
India
Indiana roads are getting safer. Thanks to Indiana's new Safe Zones program, the hard-working men and women doing construction on Indiana's roads can work more safely. And you'll be safer too. Every year, people lose their lives in Indiana construction zones, often because they're driving too fast. The Safe Zones program from the Indiana Department of Transportation keeps speeds safer for workers, safer for drivers, safer for you. Now you'll see Safe Zone signs before you enter a construction zone, letting you know you need to slow down. To help you get used to the new Safe Zones program, the first time you're caught violating Safe Zone speeds, you'll get a warning to help you remember to slow down and keep the road safe for workers and other drivers. Thank you to legislative leaders and industry partners for creating the Indiana Safe Zones program to keep Hoosiers safe and for making Indiana a leader in road safety. Indiana Safe Zones. Safe speeds for everyone.
This is a message from the Indiana District Council of Labor's International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Reinhardt Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
The news everyone's talking about, you'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
Again, don't miss it. Coming up here about 4:06, right after the news at the top of the hour, we're announcing the Hammer and Nigel Show Tales from the Track event this year. So if you're an IndyCar fan, if you love the 500, you are going to dig this year's event. Lots of different ways we can have a good time. That's coming up at 4:06. But Matt Baer, he's standing by with a look at the roads right now.
All right, Hammer, east side southbound 465 at Penn Pike. Crash on the right shoulder, still slow back to 75th. Inbound 65 stop and go 29th to Meridian. Pan a 3-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding Street into the south split. It's a crash on the southwest side. Canby at Kentucky Avenue. And on the east side, gunshots reported east 25th is Sherman Drive. Please be careful in that area. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Enjoy this temperature while you have it, because it's going to be falling like a brick off of a ledge. It's 71 right now, but we're going to get down to 47 when it's all said and done.
Son of a...
Here at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Did it.
Monday, Gunday, with the best 2A attorney in all of America, Guy Relford, with us. So Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States. There was a time where a lot of people were a little iffy on whether or not she really is all in on the Second Amendment. But I got to be honest, since she's became the Attorney General, I've been happy with everything.
Well, I am too. And where that, I think, reluctance came from originally is that, you know, Florida passed some gun control under DeSantis after the Parkland shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And, you know, they raised their age to buy long guns to 21 from 18. They passed a stronger red flag law. And it was her job to support those things in the courts as the Attorney General. It was a new state law, and part of your job description is to support the laws of the state. And so when she went out and supported their red flag law in the courtroom and also supported this increase in the age to buy guns, people are saying, oh, well, she's anti-2A. Since she's been Attorney General under a pro-2A president, I think we've seen the real Pam Bondi. I think she was just doing her job as Florida AG. But now, yeah, we see the creation of this new Second Amendment task force within the Department of Justice.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I get a little eerie when I hear task force because I was given a task force for coronavirus and COVID, and it didn't work out real well.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know what? they've announced a lot of policies. Like they say they're reviewing all of the U.S. DOJ's position in pending litigation, like litigation over the age limit to buy handguns being 21 instead of 18, litigation involving things like forced reset triggers and pistol stabilizer braces. You guys and I have talked about all those things. The government's trying to defend those ATF regulations. I don't have a bit of problem with having some pro-2A people on a task force looking at those specific positions and going, that we ought to just, as the DOJ, just fold our cards in that litigation and confess that the government's on the wrong side of those issues. They've reviewed a bunch of ATF policies, like ATF under Biden had what they call a zero tolerance policy, where if you made any of the most minor mistakes as a gun dealer, what we call a federal firearms licensee, you don't dot all the I's, cross all the T's, you leave some form unfilled out partially, they would come yank your license under this zero tolerance policy. Pam Bondi's ATF has already rescinded that.
Any worry, any concern about Akash Patel being yanked from his position there at the ATF?
No.
I mean, it was temporary, right?
It was interim.
Interim, yeah.
And the new guy's interim as well. And he was the Secretary of the Army and now is going to be interim director of ATF. And I don't see anything about him that causes me any concern at this stage. But, the proof is in the pudding, right? I mean, it's one thing, as Hammer says, to appoint a task force. Let's see what they get done. Let's see what tasks actually get completed from this task force, and then we'll know what to think. But it all points in the right direction.
Got about 30 seconds left here, Guy. Are you keeping an eye on what's happening in Colorado?
Oh, yeah.
I'm reading some stories that they've passed these laws, and now they're trying to limit who can buy like an AR and how many they can put out there on the market. Seems pretty socialistic to me.
Oh, Colorado has just fallen off the deep end. I mean, I'm old enough to remember that in the not too distant past, Colorado was a red state, and now they're just as bad as any. Yeah, they've essentially banned semi-automatic rifles that accept a detachable magazine. So these are the most common rifles in America. The AR-15 being leading example. They've banned the importation into Colorado and manufacture. They're allowing you to keep one you currently have, and you can even buy a new one, but you have to go through something like 12 hours of training. You have to apply for this special license. They don't know what the cost of that's going to be.
Got to jump through all these hoops.
That's right. And if there are any that are not currently in inventory in Colorado, when those all sell out, then there will be no more available. So that they've essentially just, ended the ability to own the most common rifles in America for Coloradans, and that's got to be unconstitutional. And we've already got people like the Firearms Policy Coalition and other groups saying we're going to sue your ass.
If somebody wants to find you, where can they find you?
Twitter, man, or X. I'm trying to build my following on there. It's at Guy Relford on, as Tony Cat says, TwitX.
TwitX.
Yeah.
You're the best. Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, guys.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe. Laugh until your belly aches. Cry because you care so much. And experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Quality Supply and Tool, your premier supplier of construction equipment, tools, and supplies, is looking for CDL drivers to serve out of our Indianapolis location. We're currently accepting applications for both CDLA and CDLB drivers. We offer competitive pay to qualified applicants. Work for an established and growing family-owned Indiana company? Please contact Brian Myers for more information at 317-690-2016. That's Brian Myers at Quality Supply and Tool, 317-690-2016.
Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing for everyone on most new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, EasyCater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at EasyCater.com.
Men over 40, struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself? Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best.
This month only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most health insurance. Get treated at a Low T Center near you or even in the comfort of your home. Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Trump hosts a Central American leader. I'm Tom Regani, Fox News. President Trump hosting the president of El Salvador in the Oval Office, who's agreed to behold criminal illegal immigrants deported from the U.S. in a prison there.
Mr. President, it's an honor to have you. Thank you. You're doing incredibly for your country, and we appreciate working with you because you want to stop crime, and so do we.
The subject of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man mistakenly deported to El Salvador, was raised. Fox's Peter Ducey has more from the White House.
The Supreme Court wants the White House to help facilitate his return after that lower court ruled he was wrongfully deported. But it's not going to happen. White House officials say he was determined years ago to be a gang member, and the El Salvador president says releasing him doesn't make sense for either country, so he won't.
Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
The administration says 2 immigration courts have found Abrego Garcia was part of the MS-13 gang. China taking aggressive action both on trade and military fronts. Fox's Jennifer Griffin is at the Pentagon.
China announced this weekend it is suspending the sale of critical minerals to the United States in response to President Trump's trade war. China produces 90% of the world's rare earth minerals, which are needed for U.S. defense capabilities, weapons manufacturing, and aerospace, causing the Pentagon to take note. Earlier this month, China's military had ramped up exercises around Taiwan, military drills that included live fire, long-range strikes, and blockade operations that some believe foreshadow a future military invasion.
A U.S. Indo-Pacific Command Chief Admiral Samuel Paparo warned that China's increasingly aggressive actions near Taiwan are not just exercises, they are rehearsals at a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing last week. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The teachers tell their side of it. Clouds are the order of the afternoon. Nothing on radar, and you probably won't see any rain for the next couple of days. Right now, it's overcast and 70 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
With the 2% increase, we're not keeping up with inflation, and that's really putting our school districts in a very tight situation.
That partially explains the Day of Action rally at the State House. Ryan Hedrick reports it's also about the property tax bill.
No way, not even close.
That's Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith
Smith speaking at the State House Monday during a rally where hundreds of teachers showed up from several school districts. They say they're concerned about a property tax bill that could defund or even abolish schools.
I think we are going to always fund education very well in the state. We've increased it over the last 5-6 years, billions of dollars.
Beckwith says right now $22 billion of the $44 billion budget goes to education. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Beckwith no longer supports the Senate bill that would give homeowners a tax credit as property tax relief. A police chase on I-65 Sunday night about 11:30 in Bartholomew County. Sheriff's deputies tried to pull a car over that was weaving in and out of other traffic, and the driver hit the gas, got to speeds of over 110, then went airborne and flipped. The 3 teenagers inside were trapped. Deputies believe they were drunk, and the car was stolen from Indianapolis. The 16-year-old driver is in jail, the other 2 in the hospital. The driver charged with possession of marijuana and stolen property, resisting police, operating while intoxicated, and illegal consumption. Recovery and cleanup efforts continue for a small town in Marshall County. Kylan Talley reports on ways you can help.
An EF1 tornado touched down in Bourbon, Indiana during the severe weather a couple of weeks ago. A local Hoosier has started a fundraiser to incentivize the community to continue donating.
I'm gifting bottles of Rare Saint Bourbon, an exclusive barrel pick, to donors that come along and help us raise $20,000.
Nate Spangle, founder of Get Indiana, speaking with WIBC Sunday's First Day with Terry Stacey about his Bourbon for Bourbon fundraising campaign. Visit his social media pages at Nate Spangle for the link to donate through the end of April.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, looking at eastbound 70 stop-and-go traffic from Harding into the South Split. Inbound 65, 5-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Penn. Crash on the southwest side. This is Canby Road at Kentucky Avenue. East side southbound 465, a little bit slow. Around East 56 and East side. Be careful in the area of 25th at Sherman Drive. Gunshots were reported about 20 minutes ago. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping and code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy with less clouds tonight as lows drop into the mid-40s. Much cooler and more windy for your Tuesday with some more cloud cover. Wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour possible. Highs will only get into the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen, Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters
are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. We have a huge announcement. 2025. Tales from the Track. The month of May. Ladies and gentlemen. First of all, maybe reset what Tales from the Track is. Who are some of the previous guests you and I have interviewed live and in person at various event centers across the town.
Tales from the Track, which is always presented by our great friends at Relay Indiana. God love Relay Indiana for being such a great partner.
They've been with us forever.
With not only you and I, Nige, but this radio station. Yeah. Love them so much. But Tales from the Track is an event where if you're into the Indy 500, whether you like the racing or the pageantry or the civic pride, whatever it is, we get an IndyCar driver Sometimes it's current, sometimes it's retired. We have a conversation, we have dinner, we have drinks. We allow anybody that buys a ticket to get a picture and an autograph, and it's a really cool event for anybody that loves the month of May. And in the past, we've had Mario Andretti, Dario Franchitti, Ed Carpenter, Scott Dixon, just to name a few, Tony Kanaan. And this year, mark it on your calendar, May 19th. It's a Monday. Tales from the Track presented by Relay Indiana with Graham Rahal at the Rahal Performance Center.
Oh, man.
Have you been to the Rahal Performance Center?
Dude, I'm jealous. Here's why. I was gone the day you all took a trip and a tour out of that place. I was out of town. Now, it's in Zionsville. I drive past it. I've driven past it dozens of times. It looks amazing, Graham Rahal's place out there, his driving center. Tell me more about it and this event center and where we're going to interview Graham.
If you love cars, okay, not just the Indy 500. Yes, it's predominantly about the 500. But if you like cars at all, the Rahal Performance Center, it's car porn. Like, you're going to walk in this place, you're going to see Lamborghinis, Ferraris, anything from like the Fast and the Furious movies. When we took our tour in there, just up being worked on was an $8 million vehicle, Nige. $8 million. The collection, it's basically like a car museum.
Sure, but you could buy cars if you're in the market for one of these high-end performance vehicles. That's what this place is. And I drive past it every day. I mean, the Ducati dealership's in there. They've got a coffee cafe in there.
Right. So, and this year, we're also partnering with Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
So the same folks that worked with us at our bowling event, Jack Daniels, they are back to be the spirits sponsor of this. So tickets don't go on sale until Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So right when our show starts on Wednesday, that's when you can go to WIBC.com, the events page, and buy your tickets. It comes with a buffet. So you're going to get dinner, a buffet, a couple drink tickets, and then after that, it's cash bar. So if you want to continue to have the libations, you can do it. You're going to get your picture with Graham. He'll sign something. All we ask is don't bring a million things for him to sign.
Whatever, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't be that guy.
Because last year, we were trying to be cool about it, but somebody brings like 8 racing helmets for Scott Dixon to sign. Like, man, come on. Knock that crap off.
By the way, Graham Rahal, not just any driver, just, a legendary legacy there. I mean, his old man is an icon, and he's a friend of the show. I mean, Graham Rahal has been coming to our program ever since we were doing podcasts and doing charity events on our own. He's been kind enough during the month of May to show up.
So, this is a great night, man. And Graham's always been fun with us. So Monday, May 19th, Tales from the Track. Hammer and Nigel's Tales from the Track, presented from Relay, Indiana. It's Graham Rahal, who's our guest. You're going to get a picture. You're going to get stuff autographed. There's a buffet. There's a bar. You get drink tickets. And you're also going to get some behind-the-scenes looks like that not everybody can get into at his special garage at the Performance Center in Zionsville.
Right on.
So you're going to get back there to some areas where cars cost more than like 8 houses combined. You're going to see race cars. You're going to see, all kinds of things. So this is a really cool event. So if you know somebody who digs cars, the Indy 500, if they're a Graham Rahal fan, or maybe they just want to come party with us, have a buffet and have some drinks.
It's always an awesome experience.
It is. It's really cool.
The month of May.
Tickets will go on sale this Wednesday at WIBC.com. So, Nige, over the weekend, liberal journalist Taylor Lorenz.
You can replace the word liberal with psychotic. But, neither here nor there. Go ahead. Yes.
She sat down for an interview with CNN weekend host Donnie O'Sullivan.
Why? Ugh.
That's a great question, too. I wish I had answers for that.
Donnie.
But old Taylor Lorenz was speaking very lovingly about murderer Luigi Mangione, the guy that shot the healthcare executive.
Yeah, in the back.
Listen to what Taylor Lorenz, this liberal nutbag who used to be a reporter, I think, for the Washington Post and some other media outlets. Take a listen to how she talks about this guy who, oh, by the way, murdered a dude in cold blood.
So you're going to see women especially that feel like, oh, my God, right? Like, here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems this morally good man, which is hard to find.
Yeah,
what?
I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me. That's where we are.
She's talking like a school girl that's got a crush on the quarterback.
The psycho, not her, but the guy she's talking about snuck up on someone and pulled the trigger and shot him in the back in cold blood. He's a revolutionary.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's handsome. Oh, wow. This is what we're dealing with. And the bigger picture is I don't even know why anybody's paying attention to who Taylor Lorenz is anymore. Didn't she dox the libs of TikTok? Or is that what
yeah.
She doxed the libs of TikTok person?
Chaya Rychek, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. And, and to get fired from her gig at the Washington Post, it takes, I think it was something where she actually insulted Joe Biden, called him some sort of white supremacist or something like that. It was, she's just, I don't know why she's relevant other than the fact that she's on TV saying that a guy who killed a father and a husband in cold blood is very handsome. He's a revolutionary. He's going to bring about fundamental change just because she doesn't like the way his health company ran, his healthcare company.
Imagine being too much of a lunatic to work at the Washington Post.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And that's what happened to Taylor Lorenz. All right, serious question. Why did we send Katy Perry to space?
Did we do it? I certainly didn't do it.
Why did we as a country decide we need to send Katy Perry, Gayle King, and some other women up to space for 10 minutes? Because this was like the big thing this morning, this Blue Origin rocket of Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Okay.
Other than the fact that they were all women, like, what was the point of this? This seems like a big, colossal waste of time. Was this just simply to promote the fact that pretty soon you can do random trips to space like a vacation? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what the point of this was?
Vacation, a 10-minute vacation. Right. I don't even know if I'd do it even if I had the funds and or the opportunity to do it for free. I'm sure that all these ladies were there for free. I saw let's see, there's this YouTube channel called Dude Perfect where those guys hit amazing, crazy basketball shots.
Right.
And that's grown into a huge thing. They did this same thing, and it looked pretty crazy, pretty amazing, but I don't know why. I mean, it's getting a lot of attention. Sure, maybe it's because it's all women. The first all-women space capsule, virtual signaling than that.
Why? Like, I'm all for space exploration. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of a space nerd. I want us to go to Mars to explore. I want us to go to the moon to explore.
You can start with Gayle King and Katy Perry.
Right.
To go to Mars.
On the YouTube chat, Libertarian Dragon, why do we let them come back? But this just seems like a colossal waste of everybody's time. And then this is the cherry on top of the sundae here. Listen to this. So on CBS, that's Gayle King's network. They were covering this. They had a former astronaut, a woman by the name of Mae Jemison, on. She melts down and gets triggered because the CBS reporter uses the term mankind.
Explain to our audience why even a trip like this one, all the trips that we take into space benefit mankind.
So it benefits humankind, and I'm going to keep correcting the mankind and the man-made and the man missions, because this is exactly what this mission is about, is expanding the perspective of who does space.
I'm dumber for having heard that.
And the reporter, I'm so sorry. Oh, that kind of reminded me of Anderson Cooper. Like last week, took a question from a journalist, and he didn't use they, them for the pronouns, and he was corrected live on the air, and he goes, oh, sorry.
To me, you know what that reminded me of? Remember when the 117th Congress was getting together and they brought up some lunatic, Representative Emmanuel Cleaver, to deliver the blessing?
Yeah.
We got amen and a woman.
May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. Peace in our families, peace across this land, and dare I ask, O Lord, peace even in this chamber, now and evermore. We ask it in the name of the monotheistic God, Brahma, and God known by many names, by many different faiths. Amen and a woman.
Amen and a woman. Don Jr., your thoughts?
You saw, I believe it was yesterday, they introduced the start of the 117th Congress. And they ended the prayer with amen and a woman. Amen and a woman. It tells you everything you need to know about the Democrat Party. I mean, these people are freaking morons.
Amen, a woman. It's actually humankind and not mankind.
Right.
Good God.
It means truth, so be it in Hebrew. It has nothing to do with man or woman, male, female. When somebody says amen.
No, it's not. You're making too much sense. You got to stop right there.
Sorry,
Just
never
accept
mind.
the fact that we should celebrate Katy Perry going into space for all womankind, all humankind. Why do we do this? Why?
I don't know. We do it to ourselves every day.
Matt Bear.
5-minute delay on inbound 65 MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic hard and get into the south split. Somebody got hit by a car downtown Central Library. This is going to be St. Clair Street to the east of Meridian. Also a crash on the southwest side, Canby Road at Kentucky Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Rexy on the YouTube chat. I don't care either way, but didn't you guys have William Shatner on when he went up to space and you thought it was cool? No, we didn't have William Shatner on when he went to space. We've had the old Brick Shat House on before when he's been in town for like Comic-Cons and stuff.
I think they did at one point send him into space on one of these things.
They did.
That's not why he called our show.
No. And I didn't really think it was cool either. Why are we sending celebrities up to space? Why are we supposed to make this a big deal? Am I supposed to have a parade because Gayle King and Katy Perry went to the upper part of the atmosphere for 10 minutes and came back? That sucks. It's stupid. It's a waste of money. All right, right now, 71 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Yeah, the Hammer and Nigel show, throwing a big party, broadcasting live from Coach's Tavern downtown on Pennsylvania, Friday, April 18th. It's Beer Sample Friday. Going to be featuring some local brews from Metazoa Brewing.
Hoppopotamus, an American IPA with a citrus aroma. You guys are going to love it. Plus, we're going to be there. We got swag to give away. We're going to have a good time. Cold beer, great food. Join us at Coach's Tavern. Friday, April 18th, starting at 3 p.m. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show live.
Do you need air conditioning service and want to work with a local independent dealer that you can trust, like Stevenson Heating and Cooling? We'll find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damon's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Do it.
Is this anything? A pastor claims that he prefers to have the airport security frisk him rather than go through the scanner because he feels the scanner turns you gay. Here's Pastor Andrew Eisker explaining his theory.
I had to be molested at the airport to go to Florida, right? Just to get on an airplane because I'm not going to go through the gay beam machine. It appears having a guy touch you all over the place is on its face seems worse, but you don't really know what those things are doing to you. So
where the imaging goes, or what?
Because it's like
what they're doing in the back room.
They can just take a picture of me. Sort of naked? Like no.
Yeah, I'd rather go through the gay beam machine because I've been frisked by men at the airport. And first of all, no, this is nothing. This guy, I don't care. He calls himself a pastor. He's not a pastor. He's not going to go on. A real pastor is not going to go on some podcast and say gay beam machine. It sounds like Alex Jones. The fluoride in the water is turning the frogs gay. So he would rather be touched by another man up and down at the airport rather than go through, as he put it, the gay beam machine.
And you're coming from a place of experience. You got the rubber glove treatment.
Oh, yeah. And they asked me if I'd like to step in a separate room. And I go, no, just right here is fine. I don't care. Let's just get it over with.
And it was weird when they whispered that in your ear, though. That's not normal.
From behind, the guy.
Would you like to go into a separate
room? No. Yeah. No, this is nothing. That guy's a joke.
But it does bring us to great moments in pastor history.
No.
One of our favorites is the Missouri pastor who was upset at how cheap the people in his church were.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton.
Oh, I hate this guy.
I ain't worth your Prada.
This guy's not a pastor.
I'm not worth your Gucci. You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here.
I can't stand. Oh.
Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expressions.
I love when a pastor says, I'm over y'all, to his church congregation.
You're not worth my Casio calculator watch from 1987, dude.
So, okay, I will raise you the angry Missouri pastor who wanted a watch from his congregation and did not get it, to the angry pastor from a Southern black church who feels like women are dressing too sleazy to get into his choir.
You so-called Christian-looking whores. That's it. Jumping in some church, flapping your ankle chains around, all on the choir, breasts hanging out, lips all red, nails painted red, purple, blue, green, long like bird claws, all this fake hair, breast implants, toenails painted with little fake diamonds in it. Your toes ain't richer. You're nothing but a prostitute.
Amen.
What I just said, describe your wife, you're married to a hoe.
Jeez. Good Lord. Great moments.
I mean, those guys aren't pastors, by the way. Stop calling them pastors.
Okay. How about
scam artists?
Reverend. Is there a difference between a pastor and a reverend?
I don't think so, probably.
Okay, how about Reverend Brown from Coming to America?
Now that.
I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes. He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island.
Gilligan! Reverend Brown. Been my pastor since he's a little boy. Reverend Brown. Let's do one more.
Oh, why not?
Is this anything? 4 people in Louisiana were arrested after riding their horses through a Walmart last week. Here's Mason Webb, one of the accused that turned himself in, talking about why they did it.
Oh, yeah, that's my emotional support animal. We just went in there, rode. We always ride to Baker. We just wanted to do it that day. I mean, it was fun. We went famous. That's all. We want to.
No, this is nothing. Didn't we have a problem with some people during those street takeovers late downtown in the summer, not only doing spin-outs with their cars, their vehicles, but also taking over the roads with horses?
Yeah, they had horses.
This guy said his horse was an emotional support animal, and he rode it into Walmart. Yeah. Louisiana.
I forgot about the street takeovers. It was like a mixture of like the Fast and the Furious meets Yellowstone. They were all down there just playing grab ass, and the police had to go down there and break it up.
Enough with the emotional support animals.
Screw you and the horse you rode in on, pal. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Maybe warmer weather finally warming up. Can we say the same about the markets? Do we feel secure in our investments? If the answer is an emphatic yes, call the Trajan Wealth Fiduciary Advisors. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth is ready with a second opinion, ready to customize a portfolio to your hopes and dreams. Call and schedule your first consultation. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth knows how to navigate an economic climate like this one, a volatile one, and will collaborate with you to ensure your investments are secure as possible. They want to join your team. Preparing for the future means having a good plan and making smart investments. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth and schedule a consultation 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry. Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Men over 40, struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself. Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best.
This month only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most health insurance. Get treated at a Low T Center near you or even in the comfort of your home. Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A packed house, but it wasn't just about the numbers. Clouds for the afternoon, clouds tonight, clouds tomorrow, clouds right now, and 73 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. The property tax bill, if it becomes law, is a concern for teachers because they believe it could relieve schools of a lot of money.
They shared those concerns at the Indiana State House Monday. Ashley Brown is an arts teacher with Indianapolis Public Schools. She says funding for the arts is always the first to go.
And not only do I just teach the visual arts, but I also teach a ton of art history.
The president of Indiana's Teachers Union says schools are already dealing with underfunding.
And that's really putting our school districts in a very tight situation.
Keith Gamble says if SB 1 passes, defunding is the tip of the iceberg. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A teenager in Wisconsin is charged with killing his parents and stealing money from them. Prosecutors say Nikita Kasep did it to pay for a plot to assassinate President Trump and overthrow the government. Fox's Garrett Tenney reports.
When police arrested the teen, he had more than $14,000 in cash and more than $14,000 worth of jewelry on him. A girl from school who the teen allegedly had a crush on told investigators that he actually shared his plans months ago, but told her that he was kidding, and apparently she never told anyone because he had threatened her if she did. The teen is already facing charges for murder and stealing. Additional charges could be coming as well, but the potential ties to foreigners is definitely something that the FBI is going to be looking into as well. His next court hearing is May 7th.
Cleanup from Hurricane Helene is almost done in Tennessee. That's where Asher Red is this afternoon.
Douglas Reservoir is one of the many Tennessee waterways littered with Hurricane Helene debris. Clint Stanley is one of about 100 Tennessee Valley Authority workers in charge of cleaning up the reservoir's 390 miles of shoreline. He says about 96 barges of debris have been removed from the reservoir, but much of the remaining shoreline debris will be just out of reach of their excavators until the water levels rise enough for them to clear the steep shoreline. Over 2 million cubic yards of debris have been hauled out of the rest of Tennessee's waterways. In Dandridge, Tennessee, Asher Red, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather coming up.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, outside. Police just took a bumper out of the middle of westbound 465. Thank you. It was between I-65 and 31. The center lane has reopened. Still a little bit slow. Back to I-65, in case you're wondering. Northbound 465, stop and go on the northwest side, 86 to 865. Eastbound 465 grinds before Keystone past the White River. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic. Inbound K2 Meridian Pad. Eastbound 74, minute delay running from Belmont to the South Split. Crash downtown downtown near Central Library. St. Clair east of Meridian reported as a hit and run. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy with less clouds tonight as lows drop into the mid-40s. Much cooler and more windy for your Tuesday with some more cloud cover. Wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour possible. Highs will only get into the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Comedian and host of his own HBO show, Bill Maher, went on his show on Friday night and talked about his trip to meet Donald Trump at the White House, which was all set up by Bill Maher's buddy, Kid Rock. Kid Rock's been on... I know, these are all strange bedfellows.
When you say that out loud, like, again, if somebody had just woken up from a coma, wait a minute, Kid Rock brokered a deal at the White House?
I don't think there was any deals, but he did broker a dinner between Bill Maher, who has spent the past, I don't know, decade or so insulting not only Donald Trump, but his voters. And I don't think it's probably a surprise to anyone that libs are angry because Bill Maher said Donald Trump is actually a decent guy during dinner.
Now, does Trump want respect? Of course. Who doesn't? My friend said to me, "What are you going to wear to the White House?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that." He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days.
And it was like a 12-minute monologue where he talks about how, you know, they're at this dinner, they're busting each other's chops a little bit. He's making Trump laugh. He said he never saw Trump laugh before, but he was laughing behind closed doors. He showed him the Clinton-Lewinsky room, and they thought that was funny. And libs are losing their mind over it.
Again, and libs don't like Kid Rock either. The Kid Rock and Bill Maher are buddies. Kid Rock's been on Bill Maher's podcast that he does a couple of times. Pretty funny. I've listened to both of them now. And then Kid Rock's been on his real-time show on HBO or Max or whatever you call it. So, again, the KID Kid Rock brokered this little dinner. Now, the question is, why would Trump want to meet with Bill Maher? Because he's Trump and he wants to be liked by everybody? I don't necessarily think that's the specific answer. But I think he knows that having conversations is a good thing. And this is kind of a different time and place than it was in 2016.
It is. Maybe the numbers and the data show that other than the extreme lunatics, right, the Keith Olbermanns of the world, there's a lot of people that want the temperature to be turned down a little bit politically. They want to talk to the other side.
Yeah.
Maybe see if they have anything at all in common because they don't like where we're at right now. And maybe Trump's trying to work on that a little bit. I don't know. Or maybe he thought, I can win Bill Maher over.
Yeah, but,
he doesn't hate me the way he used to, based on what he says on a show. Maybe if I treat him good, I give him a fancy steak, he'll say something nice about me.
And not change his audience's mind, but maybe open the people that watch Bill Maher, open their minds just a little bit more. Because Bill Maher has insulted Donald Trump so many times over the past, 10, 12 years that you lose count.
Right. Now, to be fair, Donald Trump has insulted Bill Maher quite a bit, which created a funny moment during the show.
There's that.
First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog. His show is dead. Was 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it, which he did.
And Trump autographed his sheet of insults.
Oh, that would be hanging. I would be, professionally having that mounted for sure. Framed and mounted.
Let's take a little trip down south here, Nige. State line, Florida. A man in Florida wanted to apply for a job at a molding supply store, but he was denied an interview. So he did the next, what I think is the most rational thing. He hurled bottles of his own pee that he had in his car at employees of the store. Was that wrong?
Well, first of all, I can't tell you how many times I dreamt when I was a kid of becoming an employee at a molding supply store. Second, I'm almost willing to think this guy he makes his living out on the road somehow, and so he's got pee jugs.
Okay.
Right? I mean, we've all seen...
I hope, because what if he's not? What if, he works in an office?
I have buddies. I got a buddy of mine that sometimes has to meet his baby mama halfway and, to pick up the kid, and he doesn't want to stop at a gas station or anything, so he'll bring along a big empty plastic thing, a Gatorade, and fill her up if he needs to.
Gatorade in, Gatorade out.
So maybe that's the case, but no, I've never... I can't imagine a scenario where I'd have multiple bottles of my own pee in my vehicle unless I was a trucker or something like that. Possibly, maybe.
And the thing is, he's been saving these for the right moment. Like, not getting that molding supply job really put him over the top. Like, this was it. Like, he's not going to throw it in a road rage incident. He's not going to throw it, at somebody that's blocking the street. But you deny him from living his dream as a molding supply store employee. It's rain and pee. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Spring has sprung and Indiana's floodgates have opened, meaning everything is growing, including your roots. Underground root growth knows no bounds and can wreak havoc on your sewer system, causing potential damage to your home. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help you stay ahead of the rain by offering $300 off any sewer repair or replacement. This offer excludes drain cleanings. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com and stay dry this spring.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Damon's Garden Company South has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon South on Emerson Avenue.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, we need you, party people, to jump over to the WIBC YouTube chat and give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. If you are ready to have the greatest night of your life, if you're ready to win the lottery, get lucky, and everything in between, hitting like on our YouTube chat starts that process. So I've been told. WIBC's YouTube channel, like it right now. We need about 40 more people. Matt Bear.
Eastbound 70, this is police activity in Hancock County, blocking the right lane after County Road 200 West or before State Road 9. And we do have a slowdown of about 1.5 miles. We are moving. Inbound 65, stop and go. MLK to Meridian Penn, 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70, stop and go from Harding into the South Split. Crash downtown. St. Clair east of Meridian, reported as a hit and run. On the south side, southbound 465, slow from 70 past Kentucky Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Again, to sound like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, if you give us a thumbs up on the YouTube page, all of your wildest dreams will come true. Right now, we got partly cloudy skies, and the temperature is going to start going down. But right now, it's beautiful. 72 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Well, we're coming to your city.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Vote for Pedro. Vote for Pedro. Vote for me. Vote for me. Vote for Pedro. Coach's Tavern, big party this Friday.
Yes, sir.
Hammer and Nigel Roadshow. Coach's Tavern, downtown Pennsylvania, caddy corner across from Gamebridge Fieldhouse, and it is a beer sample Friday. We'll be sampling some of the tastings from Metazoa Brewing Company, and we're going to be doing our full show there. And Coach's Tavern, really one of the originators of the Hammer and Nigel Show back in the podcasting days. We started out at Ugly Monkey. After a few weeks there, no hard feelings, but Adam and Tom wanted us to come to Coach's and said, hey, I'll give you, instead of a $25 beer tab, I'll give you a $50 beer tab. I'm like, all right, let's do that.
Yes. And we stopped getting tickets on our vehicles, which was great.
I stopped getting towed from the Ugly Monkey. That was where that was located now. This was a pretty tough. But anyway, come see us at Coach's Tavern. It's a party. It's not a broadcast. We're just screwing around. It is a broadcast, but, you know, if a few fleeting cuss words make it over the air, it's not our fault. It's Allison's.
That's right.
She can't get to the dump button.
She's in charge of the dump button. Yes. It's always Allison's fault. But, man, get there early. The show starts at 3. I want a packed house by the time Nigel and I walk in there, and I want to see a packed house by the time they carry us out. So show up, man. Line the streets. Let's try to set the attendance record for Coach's Tavern this Friday. It's Good Friday, so if you get off work a little early, maybe you've got it off already, tailgate with your boys here, the Hammer and Nigel Show this Friday. How was your Masters experience, Nigel?
Yesterday was awesome. Got all my chores done. I said, I'm at your beck and call, Lindsay, until 2:20, until 2:30, until the leaders tee off. And sat and watched the whole thing, sat and watched Rory McIlroy melt down while I sat and watched like 2 or 3 two-way strokes in a row, 2 strokes in a row, like swings in terms of like Rory double bogeyed on that first one. So DeChambeau double bogeyed on the second hole. Then Rory double, or maybe I think I might have it crossways. I don't know. But it was an incredible round. About midway through, I picked up Justin Rose, who is kind of his...
You made a live bet.
Yeah, I made a live bet. And it wound up Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose going to a playoff hole because, boy, Rory McIlroy, it looked like he was going to implode.
Now, when you made that bet, because Justin was pretty far back at that point, how much would you have won?
$2 to win $132. It's like plus $6,500. It was like a plus, not $6,500, plus $6,500 bet.
And you almost pulled it off.
Almost pulled it off, man. If there's some, I thought Rory just, I've never seen anybody like 4 or 5 double bogeys during the entire tournament and you still win.
The Masters,
for God's sake. And so it was fun watching the final playoff holes with my neighbors who were all voting for Rory. I didn't really care. I don't like Rory McIlroy, his personality so much. He seems kind of like a bag to me, a little baggish.
Right, a little baggish.
But, I mean, watching his reaction after he won yesterday, it was emotional, for sure. It was
little baggish. Sounds like something Allison would say when she's asked, what's it like to work with Hammer and Nigel? Well, they're a little baggish. It's a paycheck. They're a little baggish.
But our horse, Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy's Irish buddy, seemed to be doing okay Thursday, Friday, even well into Saturday, but then he just kind of fell off the map there at the end.
I made a bet where I just needed him to get in the top 5. Just needed the top 5.
Oh, I needed a win.
And the fat Irishman, I don't know if it was too much Jameson or too much fighting or whatever it was. Name off all the stereotypes, Nigel. I was blaming that for his epic collapse on Sunday.
I just never seen so many 2-stroke swings in a row between those two. DeChambeau is kind of I kind of like him. The crowd likes him, but everybody wanted to see Rory win this one. For sure.
Because he's always choked and never won it before.
Right.
He's won everything else but that.
Now he's got the Grand Slams, won all 4 majors.
Yeah, it was a wild Sunday. So I watched that. I watched a little of the Long Beach race for the IndyCar series, and then did some yard work. The first mow of the season.
Wow.
And I'm not going to lie. When you have that first mow of the year, and I did multiple yards, followed by some fertilizer treatment, I walked in the house walking like Vince McMahon, expecting, a naked Crystal Hammer to be giving me a standing ovation, and just was not the case, Nige.
She better have at least handed you a drink or something when you walked through that door.
She was working too, to be fair. It was house cleanup day, so she was going room by room, scrubbing bathrooms and toilets, meal prepping and laundry.
Okay, all right, boy.
But still, though, you feel like you've accomplished something. I'm sweaty, I'm gross, I'm dirty, and I walk inside.
It's a good feeling.
Oh, it's a real good feeling. I also started thinking about this. You and I need to do some sort of fun Hammer and Nigel golf or putt-putt event. Like the Hammer and Nigel Show Masters at a putt-putt course.
Oh, I love it.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I love it.
Have a drink sponsor involved, and now heading to the 18. The crowd's gathered around Nigel. He's got to bounce it off the clown to win this.
I think Woodland Bowl, and then there is a putt-putt course kind of over in that area. I think they're connected or will be in terms of a business relationship. They have been or they will be. Somebody was explaining something to me. We can do it over there. We know that place pretty well on that side of town.
And we love those folks, man. They treat us great. Let's work on next year. Around Masters time, Hammer and Nigel's putt-putt event. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings did such an amazing job on my garage floor. It used to be all cracked and dirty, and it wasn't maintained at all. They were so awesome. I had them come back and do my utility room in my basement. My new Galaxy Concrete floor in my basement is out of this world. So you want a new coating that'll change the look and feel of your concrete? Go to GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. They do pool decks, basements, garages, any indoor, outdoor area concrete. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, EasyCater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at EasyCater.com.
Bands are us when dreams don't end. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams don't end. Bands are us.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
I'm Sherry Shepard. You probably know me best as a co-host on The View. More importantly, I'm a mom. If you're pregnant or a new mom, you can get timely expert information to help keep your baby healthy, something every mother wants. Through a free service called Text for Baby, women get health tips sent directly to their cell phones to help them care for their babies through the first year. Just text BABY, B-A-B-Y, to 511-411. That's BABY, B-A-B-Y, to 511-411.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Be returned to the U.S. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. President Trump hosting El Salvador's president at the White House today, thanking the Central American leader for his cooperation with the administration's deportation efforts.
What they've done to us at the border should never and can never be forgotten. It's a sin what they did, and you are helping us out, and we appreciate it.
El Salvador's leader added he would not return Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was an immigrant living in Maryland who was mistakenly deported to Central America by the Trump administration. Fox's David Spunt.
The Attorney General, Secretary of State in front of President Trump made it clear he's not coming back, and they have President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador to back that up. Now, this began last week when the Supreme Court said the administration must, quote, facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia back from an Salvadorian prison here to the United States. Here's the Attorney General.
If, as El Salvador wants to return him, this is international matters, foreign affairs. If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
Mr. Garcia was deported to El Salvador last month without citing specific evidence in court. Trump administration officials insist he is or was a member of the violent MS-13 gang.
Garcia's lawyer denies that gang accusation. The trade war escalates. China stopping exports of rare earth minerals required by automakers and defense contractors.
China's limits on exporting critical rare earth minerals is concerning, White House Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett says.
The rare earths are a part of lots of the economy. It's a little bit of the value add to the U.S. economy, but a crucial part of the value add.
Hassett says China's decision is being studied very carefully by the administration, and all options are on the table. China's government ordered restrictions on the export of 6 types of rare earth metals refined in China that are needed for vehicles.
Fox's Jared Halpern. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What brought people together from all walks? Any rain has stayed south of Indianapolis for most of the afternoon. For the most part, it's still cloudy, and it's going to be cloudy tonight. 68 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. A new bill promises relief from high property taxes, but teachers, students, and parents have concerns. Ryan Hedrick looks at both sides.
And now, a WIBC News Spotlight.
Our schools deserve to be fully funded and fully public.
That's Keith Gamble, head of the Indiana Teachers Union, speaking at a rally Monday at the State House where thousands of teachers and students and parents showed up. Gamble says schools are already having a hard time dealing with the funding they've got.
I believe our presence here today does send a message. We have been out locally, and this is just kind of a culmination of all the work we've been doing.
Ben has a child that attends Indiana public schools, and he says he's seen firsthand how a lack of funding puts kids like his at a disadvantage.
Well, the schools that are already strapped for cash will just be even more so. And
$22 billion still goes to Hoosier public education, no matter what critics say. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith says political leaders will continue to fund schools at that rate.
I think we are going to always fund education very well in the state. We've increased it over the last 5-6 years, billions of dollars.
You may have heard that Beckwith wants Governor Mike Braun to veto the property tax bill. With your WIBC News Spotlight, I'm Ryan Hedrick.
If you've been following the story of the 12-year-old girl who prosecutors say brought a razor blade to 6th grade academy in the Perry Township School District, the girl has now been charged with 2 felonies as a juvenile. The charges are criminal recklessness and possession of a knife on school property, resulting in bodily injury. A boy was cut on the wrist with the blade. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, inbound 65, a 5-minute delay. MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic. Harding Street to the South Split. North side, eastbound 465, stop and go Keystone Avenue to the White River. On the south side, eastbound 465, hitting the brakes at I-65 and a little bit after. Crash north side, Keystone Avenue north of Kessler Boulevard. Also, crash southwest side, Mooresville Road at High School Road. Traffic sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Make hiring easier with the workforce experts. Let the people at Express Employment Professionals find you the right fit. Hiring is about people, not algorithms. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy with less clouds tonight as lows drop into the mid-40s. Much cooler and more windy for your Tuesday with some more cloud cover. Wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour possible. Highs will only get into the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen, Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer's here. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, who was live in studio with us on Friday. I don't want to say I pulled a 180. I'm not sure if that's the exact verbiage I'd use, but he's now calling for Governor Braun to veto the SB1 bill. At this point, when he was in our studio, I don't think he'd arrived at the veto portion of his opinion yet, right?
Well, no, he was trying to tell us there was a 4-year plan. Which we pointed out was the first we had heard of it.
I was like, wait a minute, 4-year? This is only the first step of a 4-year plan. Yeah.
And that was news to us. So, yeah, 180 might be a little harsh, but...
I just don't think he was there yet.
Right.
But over the weekend, issued a statement and said, Mr. Braun, you got to veto this thing.
And listen...
This is the property tax reform bill.
I feel like this audience, not just Hammer and Nigel, but the WIBC audience, Rob's listeners, Tony's listeners, everybody, Tony Kennett, all of our weekend hosts, they all just jumped all over social media and have been letting the governor and lieutenant governor know that they think this bill is the political equivalent to the football version of the Cleveland Browns. Fancy talk for it sucks.
No.
And look, I thought, we made it very clear to the lieutenant governor, this bill is a turd, this thing stinks, it sucks. Those were your words we all used right to his face.
Right to his face. Now, to be fair, there's little he can do in terms of authority and overturning things.
Correct.
But he can certainly make his voice heard, and that was kind of the idea when the delegates elected him.
Right, because he's a charismatic dude.
Yes.
People, listen to what he has to say. He's a pastor in a church. He was able to win over people at the convention because of this one issue, property tax. And when he speaks, a lot of people, whether you like it or not, they listen. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. And we told him while he was in studio, people feel like you guys aren't fighting for them the way that you guys said you would. So now he is calling for the governor to veto this upcoming version of the property tax bill. But as we said on Friday, Nige, we still got a ways to go. It's down to like 2 weeks, but 2 weeks is a lifetime in political terms.
Red-shirted teachers were down at the State House calling for the same thing, albeit probably for different reasons.
Right. The red-shirted teachers, the angry red-shirted teachers, they're down at the State House because they're the kind of people that feel like if property tax gets passed, well, we might not have an admin at the school making $100,000, and that's BS. Well, that's kind of...
They're saying more than that. They're saying that schools are going to be closed and hundreds of millions of dollars will be lost when, in fact, people will only be saving a minimal amount on their property taxes with these credits. And look, I don't know the numbers. I don't know if that's true or not, but it does make a sliver of sense to me that if schools are going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars and residents are only going to gain nominal tax credits on their property tax bills, scrap this thing and it's back to the drawing board, man.
Right. And early on in this whole process, Governor Braun was the one that said, you think you're going to have to close schools and fire police and fire people?
Right.
Prove it. Prove it. Show me the numbers. Turn in your budgets because I'm willing to bet the Doge team, the iDoge team in Indiana, could find some cuts. Because I don't know about every school district, but it seems like there's an awful lot of admins that make $100,000 to do crap. Like... at the Beech Grove School District, there's a social media person that's in charge of that. They do pretty damn well. Now, mind you, in Beech Grove, there's just a couple elementary schools, a singular middle school, and then the high school. But as of 2022, 15 people made $100,000 or more in admin salary.
Wouldn't the social media coordinator be a student? Kind of like, you know what I mean? Kind of like the yearbook, the president of the yearbook that is the editor-in-chief their senior year. Wouldn't they just have a student do their social media?
Little birdie told me until they were told that you need to take a pay cut, it was a 6-figure job in that school district.
Get out of here.
And this is what we're talking about. When these referendums pass in your community, they always cry, well, we might not have teachers. We might not have room for the children to walk. They may be gunned down in a shooting.
There's not going to be any room on the sidewalk for the students when they arrive. No room to walk for the students if they pass SB 1. That's the best excuse ever.
And then they pass a ridiculous referendum to the community. And, oh, by the way, we're going to get a new football stadium. We're going to get a new baseball stadium. We're going to get a new basketball court.
Right.
And I know this because that's what's happened in my community. And everybody thinks it's going to teacher pay, and it never does. It goes to the admins. And what I've never understood about the teachers, why are you so angry at these lawmakers over the State House when it's the people in your own administration that screw you more than anybody else? The admins will always make sure they've got their money, and if they happen to drop any out of their pocket when they're putting it in there, that falls to the teachers. The state puts most of their budget to education. When you look at what's spent the most in the state of Indiana, the overwhelming majority of the state budget is on education. But to the angry red-shirted teacher, it's never enough.
You know, this if SB 1 passes, the students won't be able to walk.
Right.
They'll be crawling. They'll have to crawl on their hands and knees to classes because we won't have money for floors in the schools. That's just
Thanks to SB 1 passing, there'll be no doctors to fix these broken bones the children will incur for having to walk to school every day. No one can afford gas. It's so ridiculous. But seriously, teachers, red shirts, we're on the same side today because we all think SB 1 sucks, albeit completely different reasons. But my God, why don't you complain to your admins? They're the ones that act like your friends and then talk bad about you and screw you more than anybody else. It's not the lawmakers, it's the people in your own school buildings. Earlier today, President Trump met with the president of El Salvador at the White House. Nige, sounds like it was a pretty good meeting. Seems like these guys got along pretty well. The relationship's still pretty solid.
That president of El Salvador really did a number on his country. He cleaned that up in a hurry. Got all those guys, the gangbangers, MS-13, whatever, off the streets. And it wasn't really... You know, they don't exactly have the same rules in El Salvador as they do here in the United States.
No. Like, when they lock you up into a prison, they lock you up in a prison. It's not like these luxury resorts Diddy's in right now. Diddy's watching coverage of his own stuff on television on cable. That's not what the Trendragua folks are doing down at these jails in El Salvador. So before their closed-door meeting, Trump, being the most transparent president that I can remember, took questions from the press, and one of the questions was about the tariffs. Where are we at on the tariffs? And more specifically, why are you doing this?
We're doing it because we want to make our own drugs. We're doing it because we want to make our own steel and aluminum, lumber, other things. And they're all coming in. We have record numbers, $7 trillion. Since I announced, like a month and a half ago, since I came in, we have over $7 trillion being invested in the country. We didn't have $1 trillion. We didn't have $500 billion for some of these guys. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. So we have the largest investment that we've ever heard of, and we're only 2 months in. And that'll continue at levels that you've never seen before. That's what's going to happen.
So that was one question. But then things kind of got spirited, and I love this. So Caitlin Collins from CNN, she is still pushing the story that somebody was accidentally deported, which is not the case. There was a paperwork clerical error, but still a very bad dude, an MS-13 gang member was deported. He
just to the wrong place, apparently,
right. It wasn't like they accidentally took the pastor that lives next door or the guy that runs the bakery and they sent him to El Salvador. That's not what happened here. It was a bad dude. So Caitlin Collins of CNN keeps pushing this story, So Donald Trump had a series of people just destroy her today. We heard from Pam Bondi. We heard from Marco Rubio. Trump did it himself. But honestly, if you really want to destroy somebody, you find the biggest nerd in the room that knows this stuff inside and out, and that's his advisor, Stephen Miller.
Right.
And listen to Stephen Miller respond to the story of the accidental deportation.
There's an illegal alien from El Salvador. So, with respect to you, he's a citizen of El Salvador. So, it's very arrogant even for American media to suggest that we would even tell El Salvador how to handle their own citizens as a starting point. As 2 immigration courts found that he was a member of MS-13. When President Trump declared MS-13 to be a foreign terrorist organization, that meant that he was no longer eligible under federal law, which I'm sure you know, you're very familiar with the INA, that he was no longer eligible for any form of immigration relief in the United States. So we had a deportation order that was valid, which meant that under our law, he's not even allowed to be present in the United States and had to be returned because of the foreign terrorist designation, who again is a member of MS-13, which, as I'm sure you understand, rapes little girls, murders women, murders children, is engaged in the most barbaric activities in the world, and I can promise you, if he was your neighbor, you would move right away.
One person after the other all took turns just ripping on Caitlin Collins for trying to push this story that I can't believe they're deporting the janitor from my kid's school. I can't believe they're deporting the guy that worked at JCPenney's for years by mistake.
And by the way, the reason he didn't want to be deported back to El Salvador is because he was scared that rival gangs would torture him, which I guarantee if the opposite were true, he'd be the gang member torturing the person that was wrongly deported.
Right.
Or mistakenly deported to the wrong country. Okay?
Right.
So let's, as you would say, not get it twisted.
Matt Bear.
East side, eastbound 70 to Post Road, crash on the exit ramp. Also looking at the south side, eastbound 465, slow in pockets from Kentucky Avenue over to I-65. It's pretty good right now from the White River over to 31. Eastbound 75-minute delay, Harding into the south split. Inbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn for a 4-minute delay. Crash, Keystone Avenue at Kessler. Crash, southwest side, Mooresville Road at High School Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we got some cloudy skies, 70 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and we've got a fun, spirited round of Are You Okay With This? Next.
Man, when it comes to selling my home, when it comes to buying another home, only person I'd trust is local real estate expert Mark Deedle. David in Martinsville bought a dream property, had to sell the old place quick with the land by the end of the year to avoid that big tax hit, right? So they had an agent friend who gave him, there was no activity for months. Fired that guy, they turned to Mark Deedle, and boom, Mark's team took over, marketed the property like pros, and got them sold in plenty of time.
Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time, but call Mark Deedle today. Ask about the guarantee. 317-755-4232, or just go online, markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
Are you feeling more tired, moody, or off balance than usual? Struggling with sleep, low libido, weight gain, or brain fog? Join us for our free Holistic Integration educational seminar, Unlocking Hormonal Health, a Natural Way Forward for Men and Women, Wednesday, April 30th at 6 p.m. You'll hear from Dr. Robert Prather, host of the Voice of Health Radio.
There are natural ways, herbs, organs, vitamins. What's nice about this is it's not something that overrides the body. The body starts to produce the hormones naturally, so that eventually you are producing the hormones on your own.
The Holistic Integration Free Educational Seminar, Unlocking Hormonal Health, Wednesday, April 30th at 6 p.m. Plus, receive 20% off our in-depth Vibrant Hormone Test that will reveal exactly where your hormone levels stand. Attend in person or on Zoom and reserve your seat by calling 317-848-8048 or online at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Wind and hail can cause serious damage to your property, but not every storm leaves the same mark. At Michaelis Corporation, they offer a free thorough inspection of your entire property, not just your roof. With over 35 years disaster restoration, they check everything from shingles to siding, gutters, windows, and even your interior. Call Michaelis today for your free comprehensive inspection. Don't forget to ask about our impact-resistant shingles for your roof. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIX-INDY.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. April is here, so that means it's our Dare to Compare sale. Compare our prices to any of the big stores in Indianapolis, your town, it doesn't matter. We guarantee you the lowest price on every sofa, sectional, recliner, mattress, outdoor furniture, anything, plus no extra fees, no delivery charge. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Damon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
A West Virginian high school basketball player facing felony charges, Hammer, for repeated hard fouls in a game, which includes breaking a competitor's nose. Are you okay with the charges?
When you say it like that, I'm not okay. But then I had a chance to go back and watch some of the video, and this was clearly deliberate.
Wait a minute, was this a women's basketball game?
No, it was a men's game.
and a man who was pretending to be a woman was in the... No?
All dudes in this one.
All cranks on the court?
All cranks on the court. Yeah, so this 18-year-old kid named Gage Ketterman, he plays high school basketball in West Virginia for his school, and he's now facing charges because throughout the game, he was intentionally elbowing people in the face, elbowing people in the back of the head. At one point in the video that the police have obtained, it looks like he's rubbing some sort of material on his elbow to make it sting more. I don't know what it is, but he's putting some sort of foreign substance on his elbow, and he broke a kid's nose.
I believe in the movie Major League, Harris put snot on the on the ball. What do you think it was? May have been snot that he was putting on to.
I don't believe it was snot. He was not trying to get extra 2 inches on his curveball.
Okay,
he was trying to break a kid's nose.
So man, you're down with the charges?
It's not like 90s NBA, like where Jordan would go in the paint and get hammered and knocked to the ground. That's not what was happening here. It was like just random going down the court, elbowing a kid in the nose, elbowing a kid in the back of the head, to the point where one kid had a broken nose and his family filed charges. They watched the game tape and kept an eye on this kid the whole game, and it was one cheap shot after the other. not accidental basketball plays. It wasn't like he was trying to box out and just got a little aggressive. It was cheap shot after cheap shot. So they're charging him as an adult.
Good.
He was arrested and released the same day, but he had to post a bond of $12,500, according to the West Virginia magistrate court system. His next court date is scheduled for May 22nd. The court called his actions intentional and criminally malicious in nature.
Tell me about this. You're a University of Tennessee guy. Tell me about the starting quarterback that's been, he was released from the program because of some sort of negotiation gone awry. I'm sure you can shed some light on this.
So this is the state of the beast right now in college football, right? Now that NIL, name, image, likeness money, has become a thing, it's like these guys are pros now. So Tennessee's quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, took Tennessee to the college football playoff this past year. He was okay. He wasn't great. Tennessee was built on their defense and running game. So he was kind of okay. It's not like we're talking about Peyton Manning back there for Tennessee or even, Joe Burrow at LSU or anything like that.
Okay.
His numbers in big games were not good, but he thought the university should be paying him more. So he starts shopping himself around to other schools in the offseason. There's a report out today that Tennessee's starting quarterback was shopping himself before their big playoff game against Ohio State because he said it was in his contract that he played 12 games and a bowl game. Well, I guess this was a bowl game, the college football playoff. He thought he should be making $4 million a season. So he reached out to Oregon.
What?
He reached out to Oregon and said, hey, next year, you guys are going to need a quarterback. I'm going to be your guy for $4 million. Well, the problem is Oregon's coach is buddies with the Tennessee coach.
Oh, he ratted him out?
Ratted him out. So he calls, Tennessee's coach and is like, hey, check your boy here. He's shopping himself around. He was doing it before your big game against Ohio State. He reached out to us. So Tennessee was like, oh, no, you're not worth $4 million. So they released him.
Okay, but did he do something wrong, though? He was allowed to do that.
He totally is. I'm not mad at anybody here. As a Tennessee fan, I'm not mad at anybody.
But he screwed himself. Basically, it sounds like he really...
Somebody's probably going to give him his money. I mean, Tennessee was paying him $2 million a year.
Are you kidding me? That's what this is come down to?
Including the year that he was a true freshman and sat behind the starting quarterback and never saw the field. He got $2 million for being a redshirt freshman. And then another $2 million the next year when he became the starter. He wanted $4 million, and the university's like, no, we'll go in the transfer portal and find somebody that wants to play in front of 110,000 every Saturday, make $2 million, and that'll give us enough time to get our current young guys ready to go.
But you're telling me this guy that got released from Tennessee for trying to negotiate behind their back is still going to get the $4 million, or quite possibly he's that good?
Oh, no, he's not that good, but somebody will overpay for him. Whether it's Ohio State, whether it's Oregon.
This is where we're at with college football?
Yeah. Oregon's coach ratted him out, but maybe that was to lower the price. So, I don't know, man.
This is incredible, man.
This is the nature of the beast, though. I'm not mad at the kid for trying to get his money, but I'm also not mad at the university for going, you ain't that good. Like, if this were Tim Tebow, his junior year at Florida, Heisman Trophy winner, national title winner. A little different, but your numbers were ass against Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. It was the running game and defense that carried you, kid. You ain't as good as you think you are. You certainly aren't $4 million good. All right, coming up here in just a moment, wild story at the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro and his family were home when some drama happened. We'll talk about that coming up right after the news with Chris Davis.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The teachers say there won't be enough money A few sprinkles well to the south of Indy on radar. Otherwise, it's cloudy and will remain so tonight and tomorrow. It's 69 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
What might be trimmed back a little bit is maybe you won't be able to build that lavish football stadium, or maybe that natatorium might not able to be accomplished.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith talking to WIBC News at the Day of Action rally, where teachers like Ashley Brown showed up, partly to protest the property tax bill, which they believe would threaten a primary source for money for schools.
I know historically, due to what the nature of a lot of funding is, it has to go with testing. Our kids are tested for the fine arts. That's where a lot of our funding comes, is from those testing.
Many angles to this story. The teachers, parents, and supporters filled 3 levels at the State House Rotunda today. The chase got up to speeds of 110 miles per hour Sunday night about 11:30 on I-65 in Bartholomew County before 3 teenagers wrecked. 2 of them were hurt seriously enough to go to the hospital. The 16-year-old driver charged with OWI. That's right, police believe he was drunk. Also, possession of stolen property, which was the car, which was stolen from Indianapolis, and resisting police. She brought a razor blade to school, say the police and prosecutors, and today the 12-year-old Perry Township 6th grade academy student was charged as a juvenile with criminal recklessness and possession of a knife on school property resulting in bodily injury. A boy was cut on the wrist with the blade. A packed courtroom in Texas today as a judge grants a legal victory to the teenager accused of stabbing another teenager at a track meet earlier this month. Fox's Brooke Taylor reports in McKinney, Texas.
That judge reduced the $1 million bond to $250,000. We asked that attorney if he's going to post that bond tonight. He says he believes they'll be able to post it. He's not sure exactly how long it's going to take because accessing those donations that were raised for his family takes some time. Speaking of, I checked that fundraiser, and at last check, they have raised $414,000 for this murder suspect.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, we look at inbound 65 stop and go traffic, 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. It is a 4-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow, Belmonton to the south, a split crash on the southwest side. This is Kentucky Avenue at Ameriplex. Also looking at another crash on the southwest side, Mooresville Road, High School Road. Crash, Keystone Avenue, north of Kessler. Eastbound 70, crash on the exit to Post Road. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked. North side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic, Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy with less clouds tonight as lows drop into the mid-40s. Much cooler and more windy for your Tuesday with some more cloud cover. Wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour possible. Highs will only get into the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek A meteorologist Stephen, DNF 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Hammer's here. I cannot believe these pictures I'm seeing of the suspect in the arson case at the Pennsylvania governor's mansion. Josh Shapiro, the residence. And when I say arson, I guess it kind of makes it sound like he set fire to the drapes or something like that. This guy hopped the fence, broke in, and it looks like a bomb went off in the Pennsylvania governor's mansion in Harrisburg. I mean, it looks like and the governor and his family were there. They had to evacuate. This guy that broke in was planning to beat the governor to death with a hammer.
And have you seen this dude? He looks like he's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. And they're charging him with attempted murder, among other things. Somehow he was able to elude the authorities, elude security, climb a big fence. He got into the governor's mansion, set some fires, and he told police, according to the affidavit, had he found where the governor was at, he was going to attack him with a sledgehammer.
I mean, it's one thing if it's a private residence, but this is the governor's mansion. highly secure. And again, when you look at this guy that broke in, you're right.
It doesn't look like a mastermind.
It doesn't look like a mastermind. And where is the security? How does a guy like this get into the governor's mansion and do this much damage? Wow. And by the way, Josh Shapiro probably should have been the Democratic nominee for president.
Right.
Going into 2024, just saying, but the Democrats would have never allowed that.
No.
We can have a side conversation about that, but at 2028, be expecting Josh Shapiro's name to be on that list.
You think Ilhan Omar is going to support a Jewish guy to be the nominee? You think Rashida Tlaib and the other faces of the party are going to be okay with a Jewish guy leading the party that, hold your breath, might be pro-Israel? I don't know. There's no place in today's Democratic Party for somebody with those radical views.
Zero.
But you're right. If you're the governor here, and again, I'm glad he's okay. I really am. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad his family's okay. This was a complete lapse in security. And I don't know what's going on in Pennsylvania where security guards decide just to take some time off, whether it's an assassination attempt on Trump or the attempted murder of the governor. Maybe Pennsylvania folks need to realize security needs to pay attention because that's unacceptable.
They're saying he jumped over some sort of wrought iron fence that nobody was paying attention to, got in this place. If you showed me this picture and you didn't tell me where this was from or give me any context of this picture I'm looking for from inside the governor's mansion, I would say, oh yeah, Russia must have hit a palace with a missile or something like this in Ukraine. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. And again, if you're his wife or his children, do you ever feel secure again? I mean, you can say, honey, we've got security. We've got paid security 24/7. They're around us all the time. Well, yeah, but they were asleep at the wheel when this
guy,
homeless-looking bum, climbs up a wall, not only gets away, but gets into our house, sets a fire, comes looking for us with a sledgehammer. Not quite the security that I was promised here as being a family member of the governor. So I'm glad he's all right. Some good news here. NVIDIA, it's this big AI company. They've announced their plans to build their AI supercomputers in the United States.
Hey, how about that?
Because of the tariffs. Texas and Arizona will now have up to $500 billion in AI production thanks to this company from the United States. Thanks to this AI company who's decided to shift their business model to the United States. It's the first time this company has ever been entirely within our country. Here is Donald Trump earlier today reacting to this big news in regards to his tariffs.
Well, it's one of the biggest announcements you'll ever hear because NVIDIA, as you know, controls that almost the entire sector, which is one of the most important sectors in the world between chips and semiconductors and everything else. And they're the biggest. And the other biggest we already have coming in is spending $300 billion, as you know. They announced 2 weeks ago. But NVIDIA is so highly respected. And this was an announcement that a lot of people, I knew it was going to happen, but not to the extent that it happened. It's big. And the reason they did it is because of the election on November 5th and because of a thing called tariffs. As I say, the most beautiful word in the dictionary. After love, God, relationship, family, love, God. I got hit even on that. You understand? I said, okay. So now I say it's my fifth most favorite word because they get you on anything.
Number 6 is boobs.
Right after tariffs, it's boobs.
Tariffs, then God, then family, then boobs.
Have you ever seen Shane Gillis do his Trump impression talking about Trump saying something about boobs?
No, I've seen Shane Gillis and I saw Beautiful Dogs, the special. I don't remember specifically.
This was on a Kill Tony podcast.
Oh, okay.
He was up there with another comedian who was dressed as Biden. And just type in American and then a nickname for boobs that's, ends with an S.
Oh, and starts with a T?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It may be the funniest thing you've ever heard.
Okay. No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, man. A commercial break, Nige. Make sure you watch that.
Okay.
His impression's really good. Frank Caliendo's is really good, and so is Shane Gillis. But talking about American breasts, really good.
Well, I think in this NVIDIA thing, again, did he mention, I didn't hear in that, he may have mentioned it in that clip, Apple, too, investing $500 million with a lot of AI stuff in this country.
Okay, that's good. Now keep this rolling and fix these 401ks.
No kidding.
I made the mistake of seeing how much I've lost.
Bad move.
Since January, Nige.
Dude, bad move.
Dude, it's a swift kick to the junk. According to a new poll, abbreviating something in a text messaging is considered rude by a lot of people. So if I write THX instead of thanks, there's going to be some people that feel like, well, that's just offensive. I can't believe he doesn't want to take the time to write out all of thank you to me. He just writes THX. What an idiot. I hate him.
No, in fact, I'm the opposite. I've gotten so bad with my replies. Yeah, THX is fine. But what's worse? A THX or maybe just a thumbs up reply?
I'm a big thumbs up guy.
I am too. Is anybody taking offense to that, though? You write out this big, long diatribe of how I got this new job and it's paying more and I'm so happy I'm going to be able to see my kids and, oh, my goodness. And then you just reply with a click thumbs up. Is that rude?
No, I think that's, hey, all right, good for you. Now, if I get just a K, the letter K from my wife, I know something's gone very sideways.
You're in trouble.
If I send Crystal Hammer a message, I had too many shots at work, I'm going to sober up before I come home. And she responds with K.
Oh, boy.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
I barely use punctuation at all anymore. The shorter, the better for me when I'm trying to communicate. And I trust that the person I'm communicating with, whether it's you or Rob or even our bosses, knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
But you know.
Who are the grammar Nazis on a text? Like, who are these awful people? Like, bad enough, I got a handwritten letter recently, somebody ripping me. Your show is amazing. I love your show, but your grammar is so atrocious. I can't handle it anymore. Oh, bite me. Is that good enough grammar for you?
I got a grammar Nazi for you. Should I read this email we got from our boss, Matt?
Please.
Because we sent him this story.
Right.
Okay? My kid and I have fierce debates about this. I am one of those grammar police people.
Oh.
She texts me WYA, which means where you at. That one sends me into orbit.
Come on.
Not only a stupid abbreviation, but a completely jacked grammar.
This is Matt from the back?
I will make them resend texts if I don't like how they word things.
Stop.
I'm reading it
There's
right
no
here.
way he's making them resend
Verbatim.
a text.
I will make them resend texts if I don't like how they word things. So you ask me, who's the grammar Nazi or the police? I guess we should use the word Nazi. We always say not to use the word Nazi. I think we're being tongue-in-cheek. Everybody knows that. But one of our bosses back in the back, Matt, makes his...
Come on, Matt.
I will make them resend texts if I don't like how they word things.
Nigel, Allison, just so you guys know, and I want to set expectations.
Okay.
If you ever ask me to resend a text, get ready for a picture of my anus coming next. That's happening next.
Oh, you got to say it, Allison. Allison, I've been fully
just letting you know right now, if you ever ask me, hey, your grammar's too bad, would you mind resending that? Here comes a picture of my anus. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Spring is in the air, and you know what that means. It's time for a fresh start. It's not just about decluttering or a fresh coat of paint. It's about taking care of the foundation that holds your home together. A spring refresh from the ground up. If you've noticed cracked bricks or concrete cracks, floor and wall gaps, bowed walls, or cracked chimneys, the experts from Indiana Foundation Service are ready to help. It may seem overwhelming to you, but rest assured they are experts in taking care of your foundation problems. Indiana Foundation Service's certified field inspectors can come out soon and explain what's happening, develop a customized plan, and provide you with a no-pressure quote to fix any issues you have. There's no better time to get started. Don't wait for the next big rain. Go to indianafoundation.com to schedule your free inspection today. Indiana Foundation Service. There's a reason they are the trusted local experts.
Indiana Foundation Service. Reliability from the ground up.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
The most important advice I can give to someone regarding their heating and air conditioning system is for them to change their filters.
And get regular maintenance from B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Get 2 slices of pizza plus a Mountain Dew 20-ounce, all for $5 with Speedy Rewards. Pizza time is now. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for full terms.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it touches everyone around them. That's why Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick created the Supporting Sobriety podcast. It's for the friends and family standing behind, offering hope, guidance, and real talk. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
If you missed our big announcement earlier, the 2025 Hammer and Nigel Show Tales from the Track event, presented by Relay Indiana. Tickets will go on sale this Wednesday.
And go fast.
At 3 o'clock. It sells out every year. Our guest is Graham Rahal. Our location is the Rahal Performance Center, which is just ridiculous. If you're into cars, if your old man, if your husband, if your kids are into cars.
Motorcycles, too.
Motorcycles. Yeah. There's a buffet. There's a bar. All of that comes with your admission ticket. Get ready. This is going to be such a fun night, man. Tickets go on sale Wednesday at 3. Matt Baer.
Eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic, Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. Crash Keystone Avenue at Kessler Boulevard. Southbound lanes of Keystone Avenue backed up a little bit. Crash Lawrence, Penn Pike, east of Post. Looking at the south side, eastbound 465, slow in pockets. Kentucky Avenue over to I-65. Inbound 65, a bit of a drag. 29 to Meridian Penn, but we are moving. Same with eastbound 70 after Harding into the south split. No delay there. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
70 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Police in Louisville were called when a deer wandered into a YMCA. Everyone was kind of amazed at the great job the cops did keeping the deer calm. It kind of walked out with him and stood by him.
Stand over here. I want it to feel like you can walk through these doors. Hi, girl. It's okay. You must know. You're gonna have to trespass you from the property, girl, okay? 123 Charlie. I have the deer out of the property. It's gonna be standing with me right here.
Thank you, officer.
You're welcome.
Trying to get animals out?
No. I appreciate it. I think she's just tired.
It's quite different than the other segments of audio we've had where deers have broken into civilian buildings.
I think what you're trying to say is we need to do great moments in deer history here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Now, before we get to broken glass and chaos,
yes.
How about Joe Biden telling that stupid deer joke about the Kevlar vest in damn near every speech he ever gave?
Ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. No one needs to have a weapon that can fire over 30, 40, 50, even up to 100 rounds.
Yeah, thanks.
Unless you think the deer are wearing Kevlar vests or something.
Hi-oh.
What in God's name do you need assault weapon for except to kill someone? Deer aren't running through the forest with Kevlar vests on, for God's sake. Ban assault weapons with high-capacity magazines hold up to 100 rounds. You think the deer are wearing Kevlar vests?
Great moments in deer history. This is when a deer crashed through the window of a hair salon. And last but not least, great moments in deer history. This is my favorite, the deer that busted through the nursing home window.
Oh,
Don't! There's a deer in here. Oh, he's out! He's out! Look out! He's out!
Great moments in deer history.
There's a deer in here.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their